the people that you respect the most are the people that you want to destroy the most, actually. If you notice, Kobe kind of got lost in that play. He didn't know if I was either up at the free throw line or behind him. And I was able to maneuver. I watched Charlie drive. And typically, as a shooter, you want to watch where the drive is going and you position yourself appropriately at the open spot. Okay, Kobe has the angle on me defensively. Let me use my footwork to make a spin, to make a mid-range shot. Anything below the free throw line, I love. That was a significant game for me because of who I was playing against more than anything else.
We talked about, and you later posted about on social, your 57-point game against the Utah Jazz. And your comments were flooded with people asking, was that your favorite game ever? Was that your best game ever? How do you remember that game? And your answer, surprisingly to most, I think, was, nah, that was not my favorite game. Nah, that was not my best game. And people were asking why. And I saw you commenting and saying, because we didn't win, and that's why you can't remember it as your favorite. And to one person, I saw you said, and this is where we're going to jump off, you said, my favorite game was when I dropped 45 against Kobe and the Lakers in LA, and we won the game, our first win against them in 5 or 6 years after 10 straight losses. I think it deserves its own conversation. I think we really got to go back and revisit that game, revisit your relationship, with Kobe, with the Lakers, and what made that your favorite game. You up for the task, Mike?
Absolutely, 100%.
Let's brush off the cobwebs, man. Let's brush off the cobwebs. So I think, set the stage, man. It's, November 28th, 2006. You're in the midst of your peak. Like I said, you haven't beat the Lakers in 5 years, 10 straight losses. You're in LA. You're playing at Staples Center. Now, I know you're the type of guy who takes every game seriously, but what's the difference between going out and playing shooting guard X and going out and playing Kobe? How you approaching the night before you even get out there?
Well, to me, this is a game that I circled in the offseason. It was a night that I'll never forget, obviously, but the key in all of that and within that game was the night before as far as preparation. Kobe was absolutely unrelenting on the court, and so I had to match that energy, if not superseded. Your preparation had to be elite the night before. Getting the rest, eating right, plenty of sleep, making sure that you take care of your body the night before. So I had massages, I had the right food, I had the right sleep the night before because you knew if you didn't come prepared against Kobe, you were going to be destroyed.
Kobe probably had that game circled against you. You were in your prime as well. You were one of the top scoring shooting guards. Going against you, someone who he's friendly with, someone who he saw as a competitor. It's a statement game.
Yeah, I never looked up to Kobe. We were peers. Obviously, I could glean from him and learn from him. There's no question. And we had worked out for some time, especially particularly with our Olympic run together. So I was able to learn a lot of things from him. And so I took that game very, very seriously. Obviously, number one, wanted to win. Didn't know it was going to be that type of night, but I had a sincere focus going into that game. Number one, wanting to win. And then number two, how can I compete at a high level against him on his home court?
I want to get into the tape, but before we do, okay, you sleep the night before, you feel good, it's day of. It was a late tip. It was a 7:30 game. PT tip, you're an East Coast guy, you're playing East Milwaukee. Opening tip, you know what I'm saying? Like, are you feeling it in warm-ups? And I know it was a long time ago, but I also know you remember that night fairly well. Did you know from the get-go, like, I have it tonight? Or was it like, let me see if I have it,
Well, every night you think you're going to have it. So
Maybe that's why I never made it, man. Because I didn't think I had it every night.
I was wired differently to think that every night I was going to. You cannot be a top 5 scorer in the NBA without thinking that every night you're going to have it, right? Top 10 scorer in the league. So every night, and there was a responsibility, as the face of the franchise to you better bring it every night. So, and I understood that and accepted that role and that responsibility. But like, there was more excitement because you're playing against the best. And to me, that was the litmus test for me. How can I perform against the very best that our league has to offer? And obviously, Kobe and I had a friendship. Wasn't very public, but behind the scenes, we became very close during that time period. And, the people that you respect the most are the people that you want to destroy the most, actually. I knew that going to the game. There was no mercy because I was a friend. And at that time, Kobe was very reluctant to bring people into a circle. So for me to be a friend of his at that time and to have some closeness to him was a tremendous honor. But part of that dynamic and that respect was that you got to bring it to him. He can sense weakness very easily, like a shark that senses blood in the water. So, that night I was ready. I had a fresh cut, I had a fresh massage. I was ready to go. Let's go. I'm in LA. Let's go.
I love it. I love it. I think we're at the point, man. Let's someone thankfully actually posted all your buckets on YouTube on a video. And I think we can pull it up and look at some of it. I think we can go over certain plays. I think we can kind of walk through some of what you saw in defense. Let's go. Let's go. So Lakers are already up 4-0. We're a minute into the game. They're playing man, and none other than the big dog himself is on you. He wasn't shying away from that matchup.
Usually when I come off pin downs, because I come off a pin down, and this is the key to that play. Andrew Bogut was an amazing screen center. Andrew Bogut was obviously a serviceable big man, had a great career. Obviously went on to win championships with the Warriors. Versatile big man, tremendous passer, tremendous screen center. So I was able to use his screens to maneuver. And if anybody went under the screen, I would pull up and had the green light, obviously, to shoot behind the screen. So part of the scouting report was not to go under Michael Redd at the time. It was to actually chase him over the screens. So Kobe, I think in his first play, shortcuts and goes under. Rare daylight, I'm letting it go. And thankfully it went in.
And that was one of those long twos they wouldn't want you to take in the modern NBA.
Well, I'm a big believer in intuition, right? And you take what the defense gives you. So the game was played off instinct back then, more so than more analytics today. But a bucket is a bucket, and we needed a bucket regardless of what the score was.
I love that. I love that. Well, I'm about to shock you because your bucket was answered by back-to-back Smush Parker buckets. And then it
Yep.
was a Kobe dunk off a Smush pass. Next thing you know, you guys are down 13-4. And that's where we pick up with you on offense again.
Yeah. I mean, again, you're in a hostile environment. You're playing in LA. For me, the natural proclivity is to find the 3-point line. I just so happened in this play to get an and one. Kobe fouled me on the play. Charlie Bell made an incredible drive to the rim, found me in the corner where I normally love to spot up at, and was able to knock down a three with a potential 4-point play. And I think I did make that play.
You did, but I'm kind of shocked, honestly, that Kobe sagged off you to put a little pressure on Charlie when he's coming down the lane. Because, again, easy for me to say watching the film, but Kobe and the coaching scouting report was probably don't leave Mike on that play. Better Charlie takes a 6-foot floater over Lamar Odom than Mike gets an open three from the corner.
Yeah, it's interesting. The Lakers had a great defense that year, and every team tried to sag the paint as much as possible. Obviously, the scouting report for certain guys is stay home. And if you notice, Kobe kind of got lost in that play. He didn't know if I was either up at the free throw line or behind him. And I was able to maneuver. I watched Charlie drive. And typically, as a shooter, you want to watch where the drive is going and you position yourself appropriately at the open spot. So I was watching where Charlie was going, and I was watching Kobe, how he was guarding me, and I tried to get below him so I get an open window of a shot, which I was able to lose him for a second. And really, at that level, all you need is a half a second, millisecond to get free.
That's it. That's it. And it goes from 13-4. Next thing you know, now it's 13-8. And then on the other side, Kobe's best friend, Smush Parker, comes down and blows a bunny. You come down, talk to me about this because you put in work on this play right here. You put in work with Kobe on you. You did a little dance.
Angles. I saw an opportunity in the open court, and the scouting report typically was to make me go right? Don't let me go left because I'm left-handed. Go right. Okay, Kobe has the angle on me defensively. Let me use my footwork to make a spin, to make a mid-range shot. Anything below the free throw line, I love operating in. And so that was a natural shot for me to take in that moment. But for sure, Kobe was elite defensively. So he cut me off with that angle, and I had to, pivot and reverse and look to score the basketball. But at this point, after having hit the threes and hit the jump, I'm in a little rhythm right now. So I'm feeling good, and I got house money. So if I don't make it, okay, cool. But I'm feeling good. Why not go after it?
I mean, you get 8 points 5 minutes into the game. You start thinking like, all right, if I'm scoring a point and a half a minute, I could go out here and have 60 tonight.
Yeah. No, listen. You never know what you'll wind up with. You just playing. And I knew me and Kobe were similar size. So I knew I could maneuver. The key in all of this was you got to think within the game, right? It was a game within the game. So you know that he's elite defensively. You know he's good at angles. How can you maneuver around him to get your scoring off?
So just for the record, we not just playing offense, we're playing defense. I think I told you had 4 steals that night. You have a block here on this play. I think that's your only block, but you had a block. Like you're playing both ways because again, you're going against Kobe Bryant, and I think we talked about this when we even talked about AI. Like these kind of games, you might get 40, but you can't let your guy get 50.
No, no. I mean, this is Kobe Bryant, who's easily capable of getting 80 to 100 on you. So you got to be the key in all of this too. I think, which is understated, is that conditioning, right? To be able to be the elite defensively and to score offensively, you got to be in great shape. So again, rested, legs are ready to go. I'm not out at the club or hanging out all night long. I'm focused in the room, get myself ready, and you got to bring it. And so to play 30 plus minutes that night or whatever it was, close to 40, you got to be in condition. And so that was a thing I took pride in.
I mean, I think you actually played 42 plus. So it was back in the
Oh,
day when like AI was averaging 40 minutes a game. Yeah, it was a little different than it is nowadays, where 35 is like high. Back then, 40 was like the number, I think. But yeah, yeah. All right. Now the next one, and this is important, right? It's a defensive 3 seconds on Andrew Bynum, which I think speaks to the kind of defense they're now playing. They're leaving somebody in the lane. Maybe it's zone, maybe it's not, but they're really keeping in that circle. But also, you take a technical free throw. You run to the line to get that free throw. Not Mo, not Charlie. On your team, when you're in the game, are you always taking that technical free throw?
always, always, always,
Is it a
because it
race to
just
the
adds.
line? 'Cause I heard Steph say when it was him, Clay, Sean Livingston, it's whoever gets that ball first gets to take it. And that's Steph saying that?
No, I erased to it was a foregone conclusion. And I understand what he's saying. You got Clay, who's an elite shooter too, and Mo, and we had Charlie Miller capable of shooting free throws too. But like for me in the rhythm, for our team, me as the primary scorer, it was important for me to be in rhythm, right? And for scores, anytime you see get a chance to see the ball go through the rim, that's automatic confidence. So RAS scored a couple buckets. I'm feeling good. Let me continue to compound this and continue to keep that rhythm going.
Yeah, so then you get that free throw. It's 16-13 Lakers now. You up here, you got buckets on buckets at this point. Y'all take the ball away from him. Kobe turns it over. You and Bo it looks like maybe you rough him up a little bit. Y'all get the rock from him. You hit a nice little mid-range J over Kobe.
Well, you
Um,
see, Kobe wanted to punch Bogut in the back because he's frustrated, right? That's what you're alluding to. And Bogut was terrific at that. Andrew was terrific at that. He's a guy that you do not want to play against, but you love playing with, right? And again, anytime I get daylight, I'm letting it go. I had permission to let it go, and I'm already in rhythm. So, it's at the free throw line, elbow. Why not take the shot?
what's not on the film because you missed the free throw is Kobe actually gets a tech right after you get that basket. Kobe gets called for a tech right away. Like you said, he wanted to hit Andrew. He turned around, said something to the refs. They tee Kobe up. You run to the line for that technical free throw, and you don't make it.
Yeah. Well, again, anytime I get a chance to get to the free throw line and get a free throw or a free point as our leading scorer, it was imperative for me to get that opportunity. So missed it. Can't make them all, but
I
it's
I think I
rhythm.
think and I'm not sure you went 8 for 10 from the line that night. That was your first miss. 2 or 3 plays later, they get another defensive 3 seconds, which again tells us what kind of defense they're playing. And you missed that technical free throw as well.
Yeah, yeah. The two easiest shots. I will say this though about technicals. Technicals sometimes can be harder than actually the regular free throw because there's no one lined up, right? And we're traditionally wired to make shots when everybody's on the line. So for sometimes even with the elite, right, the very elite, sometimes miss free throws when it's a free throw around a technical. I don't know why that is.
I hear that. No, I hear that. It's a rhythm thing, right? Everything is rhythm.
Totally.
If it's different, then it's different. And, maybe you start thinking, or maybe you're just unaligned. You know what I mean? So I hear it. I hear it. Now, what's interesting for me here is you're on fire, right? You already got double digit points. We're 6.5 minutes into the game. Again, and looking at the box score, it's about 2.5, 3 minutes before you score again. Again, you missed two technical free throws. I'm looking here. You missed a jump shot. There's like a lot going on in the game. You miss it says a 2 point layup at the rim. So like now you've had like 3 cold minutes. Do you start like thinking like, all right, like I'm out the zone, or I got to get back into it, or I got to get a lay to get back into the flow? Like, what's the thought process as a pure scorer at that point in time where like I was on fire, and now I kind of have like 3 minutes where now the game could go either way because I could finish the game with 20 and have had 12 in the first 6 minutes, or nah, do I get back on a burner and end up with 40, 50? And again, like you said, it's one bucket at a time, but when you lose that rhythm, sometimes you lose that rhythm for the rest of the night.
I think the best thing about this game and about playing is that you're not thinking about those things. You're just playing, right? And now looking back at the film 20 years later, then you can be able to get into those conversations. But to your point, T, I'm not even thinking about any of that. At this point, I'm so immersed into the game. I'm thinking about the next play and the now, and the misses of the free throw line, the misses, the jump shot. I'm not even worried about that. I'm so immersed. I'm thinking, for one, I got a high field goal percentage right now. I may miss one, but I made 4 or 5 field goals now. So you're going to have a solid field goal percentage, which fuels the confidence all the more. So next play, I'm going to get more opportunities to shoot basketball and shoot free throws. Enjoy it, be in the moment, win the game, and continue to attack.
Yeah, and it's interesting just thinking about this too. You're hitting shots, you're different, man. Like you're a lefty, and we've spoken about this before, and the clip is out there. Like being a lefty gives you somewhat of an advantage because dudes are used to covering righty guys. The footwork is mirrored, everything is a little bit different. Obviously, Kobe is different mentally, different physically, one of the goats. Um, but I'm sure even for him, it probably takes a couple minutes to be like, oh, like, Mike's footwork is not typical for me playing a Ray Allen or, an AI or another guy who's a great shooting guard. But Mike's game is entirely different from pretty much anybody else at the position.
Yeah, I wasn't as athletic as the Vince Carters, the AIs, the Ray Allens, all the great shooting guards. I wasn't as athletic as those guys, but what I did use was my mind. And I had to think my way around the court. I had to be crafty. And so that's something I had learned even when I was in high school. So when you're not elite athletically, you got to figure out ways. You got to think your way around the game. And footwork was essential. I studied footwork in off season. I worked on footwork in off season, pivots, angles. Um, that was an essential part of my game because I couldn't jump over everybody. So I had to use that. I had to use my mind. And off all the great basketball players or the basketball players who want to be great, your greatness is going to be derived from your thinking more than your physical attributes.
100%. And one of the other great teachings, that I learned from another fellow NBA hooper and friend of ours is KYP. Know your personnel, and that's part of knowing your role is knowing who's out there on the court with you. So as we get back into the game, y'all are down 4,
Yeah.
23-19, 3.5 to go. Now you got Steve Blake running the one, later, a teammate of Kobe's, and they have their own relationship. You got
Yep.
Ilyasova, one of the original Turks out there on the court, a good floor stretcher, a good hooper. You got Charlie, you got Andrew, you got you. No disrespect to any of those dudes. That means you're shooting the rock because the rest of those guys are out there to hustle, rebound, set up the play, defend. You're taking 65% of the shots with those 4 guys next to you.
Yeah. No, it was still go time, right? And Kobe actually shifted his defensive strategy. He went over the screen this time with, again, Andrew Bogut guarding me or setting the screen and did a wonderful job with maneuvering the screen. So what I did was, as you look at the play, is took advantage of Kobe going over the screen. Now, you got to understand the misnomer in this is that Andrew Bynum is guarding Andrew Bogut. So I knew Andrew Bynum would not come out all the way. So that gave me space and gave me a head start to even either shoot it or drive right past Andrew Bynum. I knew laterally he was going to struggle with his footwork.
I thought you might pull up for the floater here, again, because he didn't close out on you. So let me hit this floater. But
Yeah,
nah,
yeah,
you took it and it looked like you walked on water. You took a step in air somehow to get a little bit of extra hang time. And you hit
yeah,
again an offhand tough lay against a really good big man, a young big man at the time, but a guy who would go on
yeah.
to win a couple of titles, and for 3 or 4 years was one of the best bigs in the league.
It was. It was. But he leaned over a little bit too much. and I knew I had an advantage. And again, the scouting report is don't let him go left. Okay, well, I can go right. So part of your game has to be diverse. I mean, the great players can go either way and score a myriad of ways. So as a young player, you learn how to diversify your game. And although I was left-handed dominant, I had to learn how to use my right hand as well. And I'm shocked on how many kids today don't know how to make a right hand layup or a left hand layup. This is not a criticism, but like you want to shoot threes, but you can't make layups. I see it all the time with this younger generation. They learn the fundamentals of the game, but that's another conversation for another day.
No, you're right though. If you can do everything, then you can do anything. But if you can only do
Correct.
some things, then you can only do something. So it really is just how many tools do you have in your toolkit so you can unlock them at any time. But
That's exactly right.
to your point, the next play on this highlight, and I love this, is we go into a little defense. It looks like you get LO in the chair and you kind of pull back and let him use his own weight against him.
Yeah, no, it was you had a disadvantage obviously because LO 6'11", one of the elite wings, power forwards at the time, really ahead of his time, and would kill in this era with his skill set, his ability. And he played great during that time as well as a champion. So just try to be clever and be sneaky. Now, as you watch the play go on, you'll see the lack of athleticism with Kobe.
I mean, honestly, Kobe stalked you. He slowed down to
He's
get ahead of you to meet you at the rim.
so let me backtrack. This play has an origin. So maybe a year before or 2 years before, I'm in the same predicament. And this time, back then, before this play, a couple years back, I had Desmond Mason on the wing. So it's 2-on-1. I have the ball. Desmond Mason's on the wing. Kobe's in the middle, defending. I see Desmond come at an angle. I'm on a different angle. I'm going on the same side of the court to try to go dunk the ball on Kobe Bryant. I have the bright idea to try to dunk. He blocks it with one hand, if not two hands, at the rim. My dunk, when I should have gave the ball to Desmond, who was the high flyer, and let him take off. And I made a similar mistake here. I probably should have passed it to my teammates more than try to score the back. But it was like, dang, it's Kobe. I
Mike,
got to.
Mike, they weren't paying you to pass the ball, brother. They were
I
paying you.
know, but like pride rose up, right? And I had a moment of delusion. Had a
It
moment
looks
of
like, by the
delusion.
way, it looks like he said something to you. On the tape, it looks like he might have said something on
He
his
might
way down the
have.
court.
He might have. He might. This is 2 years later, and it's easy work for him because he's such a great leaper and defender. So, but anyhow, we
Yeah.
scored the bucket,
You score the
and
bucket. They clean it up.
yeah,
You score the bucket. He's probably pissed at his teammates for not getting back. Like I
think
blocked,
so.
I pressured the layup, and y'all can't even just get back to pick up the loose ball. If I
100%.
if I know him, that was probably the vibe. Like y'all got to do your job because I did mine.
Yeah, and
Uh,
I wasn't going to jump him. I was trying to get the foul, and he's too clever. He was too clever for that.
Now I'm looking at the next play. Okay, it's 43-39. I remember you playing well. You're a close friend. You're my guy. I know you were a bucket. Man, you put Kobe on skates here. I did not remember you being this ridiculous, man. This play is I didn't know you were this nice, man. I gotta give you all the flowers right now, man. What is this?
I tell you what, just in the moment, obviously could handle the basketball, either left or right, and coming off the pick and roll, I knew it was going to be a tight window there. So any little hesitation would give me some kind of freedom off the screen. And so once again, you got Bynum in the pick and roll. You got Dan Gazarich set the screen. And again, anytime we try to put Bynum in a pick and roll, we wanted to gain some kind of advantage with that. And was able to, again, luck of the bounce of the ball, shorted it, ball bounces right back to me, able to score. So it was just one of those nights, and I could feel it was one of those nights when things like this started to happen.
Yeah, sometimes the ball finds you. When the ball
It
starts
does.
finding you in situations like that, it's almost like, Genie grant your wish. Like, all right, I'm gonna get 40 tonight. You know what I mean? Like the ball is rolling to me. It wants to
100%.
score.
100%. 100%. So
Now, I'm a knock on Kobe though. You missed a shot, he inbox you out. I know your momentum was taking you towards the rim, his was taking him against, but if I know him, he was watching the tape that night and he wasn't happy with himself on this play.
your best offense or your defense is sometimes your offense. And so he may have been fatigued at this point, chasing me around the whole court. It wears on you when you're getting hit by screens all night. So
What's interesting is you get this bucket, right? I think you don't score again in the second quarter. You miss 3 or 4 shots at the end of the quarter. You miss a buzzer beater actually from 24 feet, a really good look. You're up 5 at halftime, but your offensive output has slowed down precipitously since coach benched you. And I know we talk a lot now about wear and tear, load management, but when you're on a burner like that, I know you usually sat at the 9 minute mark of the second quarter. You usually sat at certain spots. On a night like this, is it like, coach, like, give me a couple extra minutes, like break the way we usually play, break that usual substitution pattern, and let me just play ball?
No, we actually. I mean, you mentioned I played 42 minutes in this game, so the rest was needed. Obviously, I wasn't even thinking about that per se. I was thinking about us winning, and our guys and our bench holding it down while I was sitting down. But again, you're not knowing that you'll get 45.
Yeah,
You're just playing, right?
yeah.
So it was our typical flow, rhythm, substituting pattern. I was fine with it. I had no qualms with it. We were winning, and more importantly, it was more important that I have the rest to finish the game.
100%, 100%. And again, just looking at the box score to start the second half, you had a nice assist, but it's a lot of Mo Williams, Charlie Bell, Andrew Bogut with back-to-back bunnies. Y'all built
Yep.
up like a little 11, 13-point lead without you even getting back on the scoreboard again. And I think to your point about winning, like, it's important. You're not going to score 80.
Well, and it was important that the other teammates were a threat on the court, right? If Mike's doing all the scoring, we could just key on him. And by Andrew and by Mo and Charlie Bell scoring, that made them a threat, right? Which took the heat off me to a degree. So as long as they were a threat on the court, it opened the court up for me to be able to do what I needed to do.
And I'm looking here again, and it's a nice drought from you in the third. It's a long time before you get a bucket in the third. But y'all are going back and forth. You're up 5, you're up 10, you're up 11, you're up 9. But y'all are hooping. Y'all are hooping. But it's really late in the third before you get off again.
Yeah.
Um, that's just the flow of the game. You probably, again, thought you were going to get every bucket early in the game. And now you're just moving the ball around, getting some assists, getting some steals, and being part of a team game.
Yep. 100%. The ball will find you. The key is not to force it. There's something we call flow, right? The flow of the game, and the flow didn't take me to score the basketball. It was going to eventually happen. You got to be patient, particularly when you're a scorer. You got to be patient. It will come when it's supposed to come.
I mean, look at the next bucket even and talk about that. It's 66-59, a little bit less than 6 minutes left in the third. I mean, talk about this little play right here. Is this a design play or is this instinct?
No, this is me having had a touch, and I got to figure out how to get a touch. The Lakers are keying in on me, and what I was able to do was fake a screen upward and backward. So I caught Kobe off guard because he's thinking I'm going to screen the screener, right? Screen a player, and he's prepared for that. And I just make a quick dive to the rim. I got the advantage with the angle and was able to lay it in with my right hand, which was again being able to go left, right is important. All of this.
Now, that right is nice. And I guess you could palm a ball pretty easily. You had a pretty big hand.
Yeah, yeah, I can palm it.
I could see you like holding the ball out there. And I know Kobe notoriously did not feel like he had extra big hands. They were fairly normal, which he always felt like cost him in the dunk contest, was the biggest difference between him and MJ physically. MJ could really own a ball. Kobe really
Yep,
was more like I could palm it, kind of.
yep.
Um, but I see it from you, even that right hand finish, you have it so effortlessly in the palm of your hand. What an advantage to have big hands in hoops, as weird as that sounds.
No, it, it was a huge advantage to palm the basketball because you can manipulate the ball and you got your defender on skates all the time because they don't know if you're going to go right or left. So it was a huge advantage, even in finishing at the rim, being able to hold the basketball and palm it was huge. So you saw it with Dr. J, you saw it with Connie Hawkins, you saw it with MJ, you see it with all Kawhi in modern times. It's just a huge advantage to be able to palm the basketball.
Yeah, yeah. And next bucket, here you are another time getting a technical free throw.
Yep.
Um, you got to get those effortless buckets on your way to 45. Someone's got to make them. As someone who grew up as a point guard, I love it when my shooter gets his touches and gets in rhythm. But also, damn, I need some of those free points too, Mike. You're taking my points from me. Charlie and Mo probably want some of these buckets.
Well, again, it was automatic that I took the free throws. It was not even a debate. It was never a debate. Again, in rhythm, 85% free throw shooter for my career. So I like my chances. I like our chances of making a shot, be shooting.
I love it. I love it. I think we need to just pause here and acknowledge that not only are you buckets right now at this point in the game, Kobe is in foul trouble. And by the end of the game, he shot well under 50% for the game. He had a really off night. He took a lot more threes than he usually does. I think we just need to acknowledge, like, not only did you get your buckets, Kobe did not get his on this night. And I know as we're watching the film, we're halfway through the third here, a little bit less than that. But mentally, I know you're ticking your own points, but are you also like, yeah, Kobe's kind of on the ropes right now? Or is it like, yo, I got to keep him down because this man could get off at any minute?
Yeah, you're on your toes the whole game. You're not worried about what he did the previous 2 quarters or third quarter. Fourth quarter he can get you 30 in 1 quarter or 40, right? So we've seen that over his career. So there's no time off. There's no time to breathe. There's no time to relax against a great player like him. So my focus wasn't even on how bad he's been. It's like, okay, when is the storm coming? It's inevitable to come. So you're on your toes the whole time, and you are waiting for him to explode at some point because you've seen it over and over.
Yeah, no, love that. Love that. The film picks up here. I think you get a really nice assist. I think in general, you guys are up 7-10, but then next thing they've made a run of it and they're actually up 78-77 with
Yep.
11 seconds left in the corner. Lakers miss a bunny. It's 10 seconds left. I think Charlie Bell hits you with a lead pass. You got 3 Lakers chasing you down. Again, you're in the front of the break here. You're probably thinking back in your mind, where's Kobe if he's in the game?
Yep. Somebody's there.
Um,
I
you
travel.
hit something, man. You hit something really nice to end that quarter, man.
Well, on this particular layup, I think I traveled, but I got away with it. And then I did.
That's the superstar call, my guy. That's the superstar call.
Then I come back again off the pick and roll. I got Mo Evans guarding me here, who's a good friend. Andrew Bogan, an elite ball screener. Now we got Kwame Brown. So the goal in this game was to put their bigs in pick and rolls. For one, they couldn't catch up to my shooting ability and my quick release fast enough. Any window I had, I was going to shoot it, and obviously, thankfully, it went in.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. All right, fourth quarter, back and forth game. Again, you guys are 4-9 going into this. They're 9-4. Obviously, that kind of lays the lay of the land. It's their home court. You would expect in a 1-point game with Kobe, the Lakers are going to pull this joint out. And you were just not going to let that happen that night. We're a minute and a half into the fourth quarter. And what do?
Kobe's in foul trouble. I come up with a three. Obviously, hit a layup before that. And then again, pick and roll again with Kwame in the pick and roll. I know I can get past him, take advantage of the pick and roll, split the pick and roll. Lakers shift their whole defense towards me, and so I was able to evade a charge with Lamar Odom coming towards me and actually go left and finish with the and one. And that night, at that point, I'm in the zone. I'm feeling great. I feel like I can't be guarded, right? And whatever it was going to take to get the job done, I was willing to do.
So you hit it, and Mo Evans, Kwame, Sasha Vujacic is out there. I'm looking at you on the next cut, and you're standing at the free throw line. And my man, you look absolutely gassed. You look winded, and we still got 10 minutes to go.
Well, look, I had played 35 minutes at that point. To that point, you think about it. Most guys don't even play 35 minutes at all on average, right?
You taking those extra slow dribbles at the free throw line on some Karl Malone. Like, let me give myself an extra 6 seconds of breathing time right here.
For sure. For sure. Make sure I don't miss another one. I've already missed 2, right? So taking my time. I'm looking at the clock knowing I got a whole nother 10 minutes to play. So offensively, defensively, I wasn't coming out the game at this point.
I love this next play, man. Let's talk about this next play. You operating on the left side of the court. You down low there. You miss the bucket. Lamar kind of has it. You see an opportunity. You get it. You score. Next thing you know, you took a miss. You turned it into an N1. And that's, again, the third time this game, I believe, where you got your own rebound and got a bucket. Take away those 3 buckets, y'all are losing.
Right.
Throw them in there, and now you're winning the game.
No, 100%. And the rarity in all of this is that you see a guard posting up. Me, right? Guards posted up back then and try to take advantage of the situation. But no, it's just sticking with it, right? You may have missed a play, but there's an opportunity to get the ball back. You mentioned I have 4 steals in this game. So just, again, energy finds the ball finds the energy type of thing, and that's what it was. And again, we were just on a heater at that moment, tremendous momentum, and again, whatever it was going to take to get that win, we were willing to do.
Really good bucket. Free throw. I'm looking here. Now it's 87-82. Y'all are up. Technical on Lamar. Not only the shooting foul, but the technical.
Right.
So you get 2 free throws here. So now you got another 4-point play. Again, this is your third or fourth or fifth technical free throw of the game.
I want you to watch the post-up play again, where I steal the ball from Lamar. I want you to watch Kobe on the bench, because Kobe is the one with all the towels on him. I want you to watch his reaction when I get the and one. He's pissed.
That's great, man. That's great. Yeah, Kobe's not even there, but he's pissed that just happened. Again, he's pissed at Lamar, pissed at the team, probably pissed at the refs, and probably pissed at you for being such an a-hole and
I think
keeping the team
so.
in the game.
100%, man. Somebody stop this guy, basically. He's in foul trouble. So as long as he's in foul trouble, he can't be on the court to combat what you're doing. I know I have a mental edge. I know I have an edge in the game, right? So, to see him frustrated, I didn't talk trash at all. My game spoke. No matter how much trash was talked to me, I didn't really say much at all. My game said it all. So to see guys frustrated, mentally frustrated, it was a cue to me that, it's that type of night, type of thing.
Next play, 9 minutes left. You're up 7, a little bit on the shoulder. Man, talk to me, because this is what I'm talking about. You're palming that rock, triple threat. You haven't taken a dribble. You're moving it around. You elevate.
Kobe's mad.
Yeah.
Kobe's mad again. I see the frustration. So Mo Evans is guarding me at this point. I got the ball at top of the key. I'm just in a complete zone. I'm palming the ball. I'm feeling good. I got Mo Evans guessing at this point. And so for me, top of the key, any little bit of daylight from the three-point line, I try to take advantage of.
And I see you backpedal after making this joint. Looks like you're chewing some gum.
Yeah, just in a rhythm, man. Just in a tremendous rhythm at this point. I don't know how many points I had scored up to this point, but just feeling good, and the team is feeling good. You see the team, the morale. We got a chance to beat
Yeah, you're
LA
up
and
10.
LA, right? So that's a huge win for our team at this point in our season. So no, I was definitely feeling it.
Again, we're highlighting all the buckets, but this next play in this highlight reel is beautiful too. You know what I'm saying? As you operating out of the same cadence, you got the ball palmed in your left hand. You hit him with that little behind the back pass, drop it off to a teammate.
Yeah, no question about it. I see the guys loading up on me, and I think it was Luke Walton who was loading up on me, ready for the double team. Ersan got away and positioned himself beautifully, hit a step back three.
Yeah. And speaking of shooting the threes, let's get to this next play, man. You're giving Lamar Odom a personal highlight reel. And what I'm noticing at this point, by the way, is Kobe isn't on you anymore for the most part. And yeah, you getting buckets. And so Lamar closes out on you, and you put my man on a poster right here on this 3.
Kobe's actually guarding me underneath the rim. He gets hit with 2 screens. So he's fatigued at this point to get around the second one. And Lamar just tells Lamar to jump out there. And
He doesn't even fight through it, though. You know what I mean? He doesn't even try. He just
no,
says, I'm going to stay down here.
to fatigue. When you're chasing a guy that runs off screens, a la Reggie Miller, Rip Hamilton, all these guys, man, their defense was to wear you out.
Pick it up. It's 106-102. You guys are up 4, 30 seconds left.
Yeah.
You have the ball near the top of the key, being on you. You take it to the rack, little double pump, lefty finish on that side with 3 guys on you. Put yourself up 6 with 27 seconds to go.
Yeah. It's one of those
that's
nights.
the last game, and man,
And that's where being left-handed gives you an advantage, right? Although I'm driving, they don't know how to guard the left-handed, maneuvering. So there's 3 guys there, but I pump faked and somehow my left hand was able to maneuver through all the trees to score. So I wasn't going to wait to get fouled to go score. I wanted to go score. I was hungry. So, I knew the game was in the balance at that point, and this was a monumental win for us at that point in the season.
They show him on FSN West leaving the court. And that was typical. After a loss, he's not shaking a lot of hands. He's not showing a lot of love post-game. He doubles back and meets you on the court and gives you a nice, shows you a lot of love, let's say.
Yeah, he did. He came back. I had called him because we were friends. He came back and gave me a ton of love and said, "Great game, Mike." You know, he didn't do this. This is not what he did. You know, and so he's mad. He's pissed. You know, the game's over with, and he would normally, as a competitor that he was, wouldn't do that. To garner that from him, to get that from him, meant the world to me. You know, and obviously it spoke to me, obviously into our relationship, and a proud moment for me to get the respect from him that we all give to him always for what he was able to do. So for him to come back, walk back out of humility, give me a hug,
That's love. That's
it's the walk
love.
of shame,
That's
right? And he did
And
that.
then for me, the last exclamation point, he walks away. You turn to your teammates, you give them that gas. You said let's go, and you got gassed up, and that's not in your nature. You know what I mean? You're not the most vociferous person. You're not exuding energy. You're quiet killer. You're not out here talking about what you're doing. And clearly, this one meant something different to you.
It did. It did again. And we hadn't beat the Lakers in a long time. And then we're in LA. And for me, it's personal, satisfaction because we got the win, but also I was able to perform at a high level, against the very best at what we do. So to accomplish that with the win and to have played great in LA on the stage, it was to me, it was my favorite game. And I've had other high scoring games and playoff games where I have 40 or whatever, but like that was a significant game for me because of who I was playing against more than anything else.
And let's just, before we wrap, go through the final stat line. Michael Redd, 42 minutes and 37 seconds, round that up to 43. 16 for 30 from the field at 53% clip. 5 for 9 on threes at a 56% clip. 8 for 10 on free throws. 8 boards, including 2 O boards. 5 assists, 4 steals, a block, 4 fouls, 3 turnovers. You're plus 4, and y'all win by 4. So that's the difference in the game.
Yeah, no, it was my favorite game, and obviously because of Kobe, my teammates played great that night, obviously, and played well in their own right. But to perform at that higher level, Milwaukee at that time was not on a national stage, so to be able to do that on a bigger stage, big market, was huge as well, and was pretty proud of the fact that we got the win.
Listen, man, appreciate anybody who made it all the way through this. Like, subscribe, share, tap into Michael's social channels and his YouTube. And we'll see you on the next drop. Hope you enjoyed this talk. Here we are, 2006 to 2025.
Peace, peace.